What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Sorry there's been a little bit of a gap again between episodes, but last week was absolutely mental, and I had no guest planned. As you know, I was planning a solo episode, so that's what this is. This is the first solo one I've done since the first one. So this is episode 9. I'm going to talk about lockdown again, and now it's coming to an end, in air quotes, because it's kind of finishing. It's kind of not. There's rules, but there's not rules. So we're going to talk. I'm just going to update you on my thoughts on everything since from when we first did an episode of this to now, and that's what we're talking about. So stay tuned. There's going to be a jingle now. So a little sneak peek behind the curtain, right? I've been trying to record this podcast for the last half an hour, and I keep tripping over myself. So I'm just letting you all know that ahead of time. So if this one makes the cut, then know we fucking made it together. So anyway, it's been like 12 or 13 weeks since lockdown. I've said all this before to myself, but none of you realise this. So I hope you get a kick out of that. There's nothing more insane than sitting here and repeating things to yourself in front of a camera. Believe me. Not that all of you will be watching this, so in front of a microphone. And I've also explained several times, I'm not drinking rum this episode. Even though every episode I have drank rum, I'm just drinking a plain old standard Pepsi Max. So I keep getting dry mouth every time I kickstart it. That's the funny thing. So I've had to do this bit 3 or 4 times as well. Little sip, little bit of Dutch courage. Okay, so basically, lockdown is coming to an end now, right? We've all kind of got through it now to an extent. A lot has fucking changed in the last 3-4 months since lockdown started. Obviously, we've had the whole Black Lives Matter movement and things like that kicking off, and rightly so. And like, it's just mad that all this stuff has happened while we've been trapped inside to an extent. And now all of a sudden we're being let loose. So it's what I just wanted to talk about today, really, is just like coming out of lockdown, and like my experience working from home, and how shit I thought it was, basically. Well, yeah, I've been a shit to an extent, but I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, a lot to digest, and we'll focus on like, I've been out for dinners and stuff like that since this has all ended, and I'll give you some thoughts on what I think of that and things like that, because it might be interesting to some of you, maybe, potentially. Doing these episodes on your own is really fucking difficult, just saying, because you've got no one to bounce off, and I keep tripping over myself, probably because it's quite late. I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to get this done, so here we are. So yeah, no, so luckily over the last 12, 13 weeks, however long, whatever, since we last did this, I have continued to work from home. I have been very lucky, and like, do count my blessings for being able to work from home. My job hasn't been in any kind of danger, as far as I know anyway, unless the evil corporation isn't telling me something. So very, very lucky to be in that position, because unfortunately there are friends of mine who are not in that position. And I've seen friends have to either be put on furlough for extended periods of time. We've got friends who are looking at redundancy. I've got friends who have been made redundant. I've got friends who have lost jobs for other reasons. So people who are like having to look for employment and stuff like that. One of my friends who's been made redundant was made redundant because they lived abroad, and they've had to move back home. So the upheaval of that alone must have just been insane. It's one thing to lose your job, it's one thing to lose your home as well, out of it. So, it goes to show the ramifications of what the fuck is going on around the world right now, especially in certain sectors. And like, for her, she's had to take her home that she's known for the last 5 or 6 years, and basically just go, okay, I need to pack this all into a certain amount of space, and then fly back to England and live in England again. And I'm not going to name names, because I don't want to potentially embarrass anyone or anything like that. But like, the fucking pressure of that alone must have just been insane. And how the way she's dealt with it and things like that has been absolutely fucking like just hats off, like, because she's handled it like a trooper. And I have all the respect in the fucking universe for her, the way she's dealt with it, because I would not have dealt with it the same way. I mean, the whole time she was going through it and stuff, especially before she moved home, it was very much like, everything's going to be okay. I'll help you. You've got so many people around you who would help you and stuff like that. And, and we did, of course. And, and she's back home now and luckily has found another job. Not doing the same thing. And not necessarily something that she wants to do, but she's got a job. So that's something. And I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning this. I mean, I haven't named names, so that's one thing. So I hope if she's watching this, sorry. If you didn't want me mentioning it, but yeah, they won't know who you are anyway. Maybe. And plus, I just totally bigged you up. But yeah, the way she's dealt with it has just been like insane, and like, anyone else who's going for, I mean, anyone who's losing their jobs and stuff like that for this is just shit in general. But like, some people are having way more of a go of it than others. It's all about how you handle that thing as well. Like I say, if it was me and I was in her position, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. I'm quite a strong-minded and willed person, but dealing with something like that, I honestly don't know what I'd do. Which is a good way for me to now sort of circle back to the whole working from home thing. Because one thing, well, a couple of things. So, working from home for me personally has been kind of like a bit. Say kind of like it has been. It's a weird and lonely experience, to be honest. Especially being a fucking chatterbox like me. I don't shut the fuck up. That's my problem. I don't shut the fuck up. But it's just strange. And like on your mental health and stuff like that as well. And I'm not saying that I'm depressed or anything like that, because I'm not even close. So I'm not even gonna go down that route. But sitting on your own all day, and I'm sure there's people out there who do this outside of having to work from home. And again, I can't even imagine having to do this permanently. But like, I don't even live alone. But the 8 or 9 hours, depending on fucking if I'm dragged into doing mad overtime for something or another, I'm sat on my own, is shit. And it's like, yeah, I'll text people in between and stuff like that. But most days, especially lately, I'm so busy, I can't do that. And it's just weird being segregated and cordoned off from colleagues and things like that. I mean, obviously we have like work phone calls and stuff like that throughout the day, but it's not the same. And even then, they're such a minuscule section of time of the day. It doesn't even equivalent to anything, It's like, oh, and even then, it's not like an interesting conversation. It's not like you're all on there having some banter for the most part. You're all on there like, okay, we've got these objectives today, and we've got to get this done, and if this isn't done, then you're gonna slap on the wrist and blah 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 blah, and shit like that. So, it's not like normal human conversation where you're like, oh, what did you get up to on the weekend then? Did you do some gardening? I don't do gardening. My parents have been obsessed with gardening. They've probably handled this better than me over the last few weeks to an extent. Especially during the working hours. On outside of working hours, it's not been so bad. Well, it's not been so bad. It's not been bad at all, really. It's just the work bit. I do struggle with the working from home. It's like our company at the minute is like, oh, we're probably going to go to doing a split in September of... I don't even know if I should be disclosing this. But there's a potential for doing a split of, a certain amount of days from home and a certain days in the office. Which I think is the case for a lot of people. Which is fine, and I like that. And like going forward, I was never opposed to the idea of working from home. When you have a choice, it's very different, especially at the minute, obviously, for the most part of this anyway. It's very much like, okay, you're going to work from home all day, you're going to sit in the same room, you're not going to be able to go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, things have been easing over the last few weeks, so it's like you can see friends in the evenings, like in the garden and stuff like that. I've seen people on the sly. But you know, that's more to keep fucking sane more than anything. And that's even then, that was always under a thing of like we'd known where each other had been and stuff like that. So you know, anyone who's popped over or anything like that was only because they'd been isolating as well or whatever. So it's fine. But yeah, like obviously, like I said at the beginning, no, when everybody was very strict and everything, and no one was going anywhere, it was like, oh god, I'm fucking stuck. I'm working out in this room. That slipped. I've been a bit shit with that lately. Keeping in a routine has been very difficult. I don't know why. Probably because I've just got mad brain and whatever. So I was working out in here. I was working in here. I was having, I was chilling out in here. I was potentially eating in here some evenings and stuff like that. You know, like you're just in this fucking room. I'll do these podcasts in here. You know, you guys see it every week on the YouTube version of this. So just in this room all the fucking time, and it's just like, oh my god. And like when you're sitting here as well, I don't know if anyone else thinks the same. Again, I know you're not going to give me instant feedback on this, but obviously please comment and all that stuff, or slide my DMs, whatever you want to do. Anyone who wants to chat, because that's happened off some of these episodes, but mainly personal friends, obviously, who have heard something I've said and have been like, oh, you know, thanks for talking about this or whatever. Glad you think the same, blah, 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 blah. But like, sitting here on your own all day, as well, gives you way too much time to just think. As much as I'm working, and like, to be fair, it hasn't stunted my progress at work, because work has been insane recently, because we've had some huge changes in my work, but that's boring, we won't really get into that. Work has been insane, but like, you just have so much time to sit and think, and like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I've had so much time to just sit and dwell and think on stuff, and like, do your own head in at points. And one thing that's come out of this as well is like, I don't think I'm happy doing what I do for work, and I don't care who hears that. To be honest, because I don't know if I am. Am I? Who knows? It's such a weird fucking time, and I feel guilty even thinking like that. To an extent, because I'm in kind of a privileged position of I still have a job, and you know, and a lot of people aren't gonna have jobs at the end of this. So I feel this weird sense of guilt even thinking that, even discussing. You know, I spoke to friends who have lost jobs and stuff like that about it, and I feel guilty even talking to them about it, because it's just like, oh, I'm talking to you about this, and your job's on the line, or you've lost your job, or whatever. And I like I say, and talking about my dissatisfaction with what I do, gives me this weird sense of guilt. And they'd probably be like, oh, no, I don't think like that. Because at the end of the day, we can only fucking handle our own shit. I'm swearing a lot. Not there's any difference to any other time that we do this. But yeah, no, I do feel this weird sense of guilt. But yeah, I feel like it's just because sometimes I just question what the fuck I'm doing with my life or not doing with my life. And like, I'm like, do I want to do this? Do I want to buy this house? Do you know what I mean? Again, I talk about fucking buying houses and people are losing their jobs. I feel guilty thinking that. And I'm not trying to be woe is me. It's just how I feel. Because I'm like, there are people in a lot worse situation than you. But again, I can only fucking handle my shit. That's the world I'm in. So, you know, believe me, I feel bad even thinking stuff like that. But I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? And now we're coming out at the end of this now. I'm kind of like, okay, if this is all, everything's starting to go back to normal. I mean, fingers crossed, there's no fucking second wave or anything like that. Which, who knows what's going to happen if that happens. You know, that's a day that none of us want to see come, to be honest, because if they have to lock down everything again, that's not going to be good for anyone. And even then, this fucking privileged position I'm in now might be out the window. Who knows? But yeah, now it's like, now everything's coming to an end. It's like, I need to make some decisions personally. It's like self-therapy session right now. We need to make some decisions personally of like what I want to do when this is over. Do I still want to stay in this profession and keep building this career here, or do I want to hit the reset button? It's like complete fucking crossroads, and I have no idea. Currently, I have literally no idea. So yeah, that's my little self-drama coming out of this. I don't know if anyone else is feeling anything remotely like that. I would honestly be, and this isn't the end of the episode or anything, obviously, because I'm asking you for comments already. But I would really be interested to see what other people's thoughts are, because I know a lot of people who listen to this will be working from home and things like that, or being at work or whatever. But it's funny how like all this turmoil in the world, and it does make you question what you're doing. Well, that's how I've felt throughout it. Anyways, question what makes you happy, and that's one thing I've been trying to do throughout lockdown and with my spare time and stuff like that. It's just dwelling on the things that make me dwelling. That's probably the wrong word, but like doing the things that make me happy. Anything that gives me that slice of fucking relief and escape is like, I want to fucking let's do this and spend my time with people who make me happy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't want to throw that shit away, and like, it's good to just like, especially with all the fucking dread, is like anything that gives you that slice of happiness right now, fucking enjoy it, because, shit's crazy. So that's the way I'm trying to look at things. So until I figure my shit out, yeah, well, not even until I figure my shit out, because, seeing and doing the things that make me happy or whatever, but it's like, you want that to stick around. And, so yeah, hopefully I'll figure my shit out. Who knows? Anyway, woe is me fucking session is over. So yeah, I was talking about my parents. They've been going gardening mad. I know everybody was intrigued to hear the stories of my parents the first time we did one of these. I know they were struggling at the start with like keeping entertained and stuff like that, but like as time's gone on, they've just, I don't know, just got on with it. It's like, it's been really weird actually. Like their mood at the start, I could tell was very much like, oh, I can't go out. But I started letting my dad go to the shop and stuff like that. How bad does that sound? I started letting him go to the shop. And that really helped with him, as I know he's very antsy, but like he's just been focused on doing the garden, and mum helps and stuff like that. And I know my mum is still bored at times, but like since they started saying you could go around people's gardens and stuff like that, she'll go and visit her friends in their back gardens and just like go around for a cup of tea and stuff like that, So it's made things a lot easier. So as time has gone on, I mean, obviously it's going to be the same for everyone. It's going to be nothing new to hear something like that. But like, it's been nice to see that the insanity couldn't set in. And like I said last time, none of us had to kill each other. So that was good. Sorry, there's a hair on my keyboard for anyone who's watching, and I'm trying to get it, and I can't get it. So I'll leave it. But yeah, no, it's been nice to see them like slowly get used to the idea of having to stay in. So yeah, that's but like I say, it's got easier for them as time's gone on. So it's been quite nice to see, especially for my mum. So my mum had quite a rough year last year, and it's like now this year you're gonna have to spend half a year fucking stuck inside. So that was shit. Hopefully, so my mum's 70th this year, so hopefully come October. I mean, she can go for dinner now. I mean, technically she should be shielding, so she shouldn't really go to restaurants and stuff like that. I have been out. I'm as safe as I possibly humanly can be. But she's very much of the opinion of like, you live your life. You're only 29. You gotta do these things and go out and enjoy yourself and stuff like that. And like, I think she'd be pissed if I didn't. So anyone who thinks I'm a dick for going out while my mum's shielding, then well, fuck you, because she would disagree. But yeah, it'd be nice. What I was getting at is it's like her 70th this year and stuff. So it'd be nice if like she could go out and feel safe by the time that rolls around. Because I know my poor dad, it was his 75th this year, which is a big one, isn't it? 3/4 of a century and all that. And like we couldn't do anything for that, so now that's all belated. I mean, we'll end up doing something for that at some point. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do like something joint on my mum's 70th or something, celebrate both their birthdays or whatever. But yeah, it's especially like I said, as anyone who knows me, my mum, not trying to be woe is me too much, but like my mum has lung cancer. So yeah, it's been horrible to see her have to go through all that, and then now this is happening. I mean, I say everybody's hand, there's gonna be so many people dealing with the same thing, but it is rough seeing a parent who's going through that, and it's like, oh, you can't go out and enjoy yourself and do the things that you like to do. So the minute the bingo hall's open, I assume she's probably going to be down there. Fuck it, she's going to be running down there. And she can't run, but she'll be running down there. So yeah, it's been rough seeing that and stuff. But like I say, she's handled it really well, and she's doing good. So what more can you ask for? So, like I just said, everything is coming to coming to an end. I mean, is it when does this fucking nightmare end really? But so places are starting to open up. So I have been out for dinner twice. I have been down to Brighton. Been down to the seaside. I haven't been down to Brighton, down on the pier, and I have been into London for a meal. Yeah, I know. People are going to be like, fucking hell, you've been getting about, haven't you? Well, yeah, because we've been fucking stuck indoors for 3 or 4 months, however fucking long it is. So I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Which I'm sure a lot of people are the same. I, on the other hand, though, am trying to adhere to fucking social distancing and stuff like that, which a lot of people are fucking not. I was complaining about shops last time when we did one of these. Remember with the fucking lanes, and I was pissed off with the lanes? Well, that went out the window real quick, didn't it? I know I'm detouring right now. That went out the window fucking real quick. The lanes weren't even the problem in the end. Everybody was just fucking everywhere. Like, at least at the start, they like staggered you going into Tesco and stuff like that. Then in the end, they were like, no, fuck it, everybody come in. Everybody come in. That was like 5 weeks in. It was like, fuck me, there's still early doors, and you're just letting everybody in. And everybody was going up and down, and fucking no one's wearing masks or nothing. I know the mask thing is literally new as of today, I think. When that comes in on the 24th. I think I've got that date right. But yeah, nobody's fucking, like, everybody's just climbing over each other. There's fucking spider monkeys in the shop, and they're all fucking all over the top of each other. And it's just like, fuck, what the fuck? Yeah. But it was like, yesterday I went to Brighton. So I've gone down Brighton, and again, it's just fucking people everywhere. You go in the arcade, there's no social distancing at all. I mean, I know they've reduced the fucking size of the distance and stuff, but like, everybody's just on top of each other, essentially. And I was surprised how much was open. Like, a lot was open. The fucking, a bunch of the rides are open. Like, the fucking, the little fucking carny shooting games were open. Hook a duck. All, like I say, all the fucking casino slots, everything. All the full arcade was open. You could play anything. And the weird thing was, there was no one like cleaning anything. It was all just down to like putting sanitizer on your hands afterwards. I mean, there was a lot of sanitizer stations all over the place, so that was good. So yeah, obviously down there, it's like you want a social distance, but you absolutely can't. That's kind of the world we're in now, I guess. Is everybody's just like, fuck it, it's over. I don't necessarily 100% agree with that, because, you know, it's definitely not over. I was looking at the numbers today. It's like we're averaging like 500 or 600 infections a day or something recent over the last couple of weeks, and or week and a bit or whatever. And then now today it was up to 1,200. I mean, I don't know if that's just because it's the weekend or whatever, but like the numbers gone up, and it's like everything's just opened and now the infection rate's gone up. Oh shit. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, it's been interesting, especially like I said, I went to dinner at Miller and Carter on the Monday. So everything opened on the 4th. I went there on the 6th. That was good. They had proper spacing of tables and stuff like that. Staff was scrubbing tables down, whatever. Took all your details, obviously, when you made your reservation. So it was track and trace. So if they did discover someone got infected, they can contact you, blah, blah. Meal went for in London again. Place was the same. Everybody was distanced. Maybe a little bit less so than Miller and Carter was. Again, track and trace. It was weird scanning like the little barcode on our table and then having to put details in. I guess that's just gonna be what it's like when you go for dinner now, to be fair. But that was fine. London was. It was nice to be in London. That was the thing as well. That's the thing coming out the other side of this. Is like I normally spend a lot of time in London throughout the year, whether it's going to gigs or visiting friends or, you know, going to the wrestling, all that kind of stuff. So it was nice to actually be in the city. it's just those little things that are now coming back. I mean, obviously, like for a lot of people, like the football came back and stuff like that. I mean, eventually, obviously, it'll be nice when we can actually go to these venues and stuff like that, which hopefully won't be too far away. But it was just nice being in the city, and just going and having a meal, like, was just nice. You know, it's mad how you miss these little things, and then you go and experience them, and it feels like it's all new again to an extent. It's like, oh god, like I can order all these drinks and get all these fucking. I can get a beer on tap and stuff like that. It was fucking great. It has been nice to be able to go and just be human again to an extent, and not just be stuck in your fucking four walls all day. So that's been good. But yeah, I don't know what a lot of people's thoughts are, but I felt fairly safe in the things that I did. The only time I didn't was, well, I wouldn't say I felt unsafe in Brighton. I wouldn't say that, because I feel like there was, as long as I was washing my hands and trying to keep a distance from people, then what else can you do? You can only use common sense at this point and try and avoid it, and not be a dickhead about it, basically. It was interesting though. There was an evening before they started opening everything. This must have been about, so everything opened on the 4th. I don't know. It's probably like the last week of June. Well, that was a really hot week, and just innocently, a friend of mine was like, "Should we go for a walk down the front at Southend?" And didn't think nothing of it, because been down to beaches in the evenings and stuff anyway, to just go for a walk along the beach and whatever. So we've gone down there, and fucking Southend, oh my god, that I felt unsafe, legit. Like, I've been to Southend peak summer, and I've never seen the streets so busy. I don't know if it's because there was nowhere to go, because obviously none of the arcades or anything was open down there then. I think mini golf was open, which made me laugh. And I was a bit like, should we go play mini golf? Because at least you can keep fucking away from people there. But yeah, no, I think the only thing that was open was like mini golf and stuff on the front. But there was people fucking everywhere. And literally everybody was pissed. Like, I swear everyone was fucking drunk or high, because all we could smell was weed. And it was just like, what the fuck is going on down here? Like, that was when it was like, okay, this is people being dickheads now. Like, the pictures that you saw in the newspaper of everybody on the beach, like, completely just crowded and on top of each other, that was what Southend was like that night. Brighton was not like that this week. Like that was on a Monday, to be fair. But even on the beach, people were spaced out, no problem. In the bars, people were spaced out. Maybe Brighton's just I don't know how. I have no idea what Brighton's been like throughout the rest of the time, but maybe Brighton just have their head screwed on, and just know how to social distance properly. Maybe, I don't know. But like down there yesterday, like I say, it didn't feel mental. Southend though, 3-4 weeks ago, that was mental. Literally, like, couldn't move. I think we were down Southend for about 15 minutes. I was like, we need to leave, because this is just insane. Like, fucking go. But yeah, I'll tell you what was mad. Getting a haircut as well. That was nuts. So go to my barber's. Luckily, I never booked. So on the 4th, when everything opened, I turn up at my barber's. There was no queue. I literally get my temperature taken at the fucking door, which made me laugh. I mean, I guess they got to do this shit. Excuse me, gassy man. Oh god, how embarrassing. I'm not even gonna cut this, whatever. So I get my temperature taken. I go in, sit down. They've got these mad fucking shields between people, like side by side. So you've got your shields between you. I mean, most of you probably had your haircut by now, so you probably experienced this, but it's just like, it's mad that this is the world we're living in. So they've got the shields up between people. So between you and the person getting their haircut next to you, you got a little blocker. The dude's got a fucking mask on and then a visor as well. So he's like double, triple fucking protected from breathing on you or anything like that. And like, the dude was talking to me and asking me what I wanted done, or if I liked what he was doing to my hair or whatever. And I couldn't hear a fucking word he's saying. I'm so deaf. I'm literally so deaf. And he was talking to me, and this poor dude. And I'm going, what? I was like, sorry, what? Sorry, what? Constantly. I had no idea what he was saying to me. I'm so fucking deaf. felt really bad. But yeah, so like even getting a haircut was like mad. I've done it all, haven't I? Since it's over, I've gone fuck it. I've gone everywhere. I've been like, let's go to the beach, let's go to the pier, let's go for a pint, let's go. I've been to the pub as well. Actually, on an actual pub trip. That was weird. So went to local pub called Three Wise Monkeys. We had to book a table, all complete table service. Everybody had masks on. People were better protected in here than the restaurants actually, because everybody had a mask on. And like the waitresses and stuff and the waiters in the restaurants I've been to didn't have masks on. But yet, in a fucking pub, they all had masks on. So, who's wrong and who's right here? I really don't know. Like, this is the mad thing. Like, when you have to wear masks in shops, are we going to have to wear them in restaurants? I mean, obviously we can't in a restaurant because we're going to eat. Unless you got to, like, shimmy it up and, like, stick your fork under your mask or something. I don't know. But like maybe the waiters and waitresses probably should, because they're handling your food and they can breathe on it and there's fluid, right? Because it's the droplets that give you COVID. So yeah, I don't know how that's all working, but yeah, Three Wise Monkeys were fucking very well protected. Well done, Three Wise Monkeys. So yeah, I've literally sampled everything. So anyone who's scared, don't be scared. I feel like, you know, to an extent, I mean, again, be sensible. Wear masks now, moving forward, because we're meant to. I'm quite glad we've actually brought the mask thing in, because for me, it was like, we should probably be wearing masks, like a couple of weeks ago with the whole thing I mentioned with the supermarkets. It's like the supermarkets, the social distancing in there went out the window so quick, and it was just like, should we not be doing something extra to protect people who are like being spider monkeys and clambering over me to get a box of fucking shreddies? Like, you know. So I'm quite glad they've actually enforcing that now. I mean, some states in America are enforcing that weeks ago. Obviously, America's a bit all over the place with their mask enforcement and people being like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask. I mean, come on, guys. Fuck me. It's a mask. Like, they're not that bad. You can breathe in them. You can get the ones with a little breather in it if you're that worried. It's not that difficult. You can take it off when you're on your own. Do you know what I mean? Or in your own space. Like, when you're outside away from people. You know, if we're all doing it, you know, we'll all make the difference and, you know, get this shit fucking done with. Because at this point now, it's like, let's just get everything back to normal. Like, we're almost there. We're on the fucking cusp. So, you know, fingers crossed we get there. And people can start getting their jobs back or new jobs and things like that, you know. And this fucking cloud of dread that's like sitting on top of us still is like completely dissipated. The blue sky is right there. Let's fucking get rid of the rest of the grey, please. So just wear a mask. There's me preaching it. But yeah, no, I think at the same time though, don't be scared to go out for dinner and stuff. I feel like as long as you book, you know, maybe go to like places that you probably would mentally think, okay, that's a company that's going to make sure they stick to the guidelines. Go somewhere like that. Go out and fucking enjoy yourself. Like, don't avoid going for dinner and stuff. I know I've spoken to a couple of friends of mine who are still a bit trepidatious about it. And, like, that's fair enough. But legit, I mean, there's a point where we've just got to fucking live. Like, just go for dinner. You know, when you get in there, you can avoid people because most places are doing the distancing thing. So, you know, so just fucking... And we've got, you know, the economy's fucked. So we should probably go out and have some dinner. There's probably a controversial statement being like, go out for dinner. But, like, you know, I've done it, and I feel like I am someone who's considerate of the rules and considerate of what the situation is. I live with someone who's shielded. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be fair, if I go out, I actually avoid being in the same room as my mum. Like, I'll tend to stay at a distance from my mum in the house. So at least a few days has gone by, so I know I'm okay. Like, as stupid as that sounds, and I basically have to constantly do that now. But, like, it's just a thing. And, like, I'm constantly washing my hands when I'm at home and stuff like that. I mean, which everybody should be fucking doing right now. It was like yesterday when I was down Brighton. I was constantly putting sanitizer on my hand. Whether it's the sanitizer we had with us or the sanitizer that was in the machines. Before I drove and touched my steering wheel, sanitize my hands. Stuff like that, you know. Just be smart. As long as you're smart, and we're all fucking smart. I mean, unfortunately, that's not going to be the case because we're not all smart. We know that. But if we can all be as smart as possible, then fingers crossed we can. You're going to be okay. You can go out and have dinner, and do things. because believe me, it's nice when you do. It's like you feel human again. Because I feel like that's the thing. It's just like it's what we like doing at our fucking core. It's like being able to go out and fucking socialize and enjoy the fucking delicacies of a restaurant and things like that, or go to the pub with your mate, whatever. So yeah, so hopefully the positives are going to start coming again, and we can all just get back to normal. But I was saying that last time, and that was 12 weeks ago. So maybe another 12 weeks. These 12 weeks have flown by. Maybe another 12 weeks we'll come back. We'll revisit this, and I'll be back, and I'll be like, I've been abroad or something like that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I mean, you can go abroad now technically, but that's one thing I'm a bit like still. I would like to, but yeah, I think that's the one that's got to wait a minute. But yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Who knows? 10, 12 weeks time, who knows what the situation will be in. It'll be very interesting. I quite like these as little checkpoints of what the status of lockdown is. And if there's one positive that's come out of lockdown, is that I started doing this podcast. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time and try doing by myself. And we've done it. And fingers crossed I can keep coming back with some content for everyone. I have no idea what this episode's going to be like. I've got bits to edit out. I've got bits to cut out. Yes, behind the fucking curtain stuff again. It's been really difficult to record tonight, mainly because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to say. I did the last one in one take. This has not been one take. This has been hard. Because it's just been so much happen. It's weird. It's been so much happen, but so much not happen. I didn't want to dig into a lot of the politics of stuff that's been going on and the government response and stuff like that, because that's too, just fucking too mad. Like, there's so much, I want this to be a real episode about my experience, and that I have no control over. All we can do is spectate that to an extent. So that's over there. That's for someone else to discuss on their podcast. That's not what I'm going to do. So I think I'll leave it there. Probably a shorter episode. I hope you've potentially enjoyed it. So yeah, off the back of this, got some life thinking to do, as a lot of us probably do. But we'll all get there in the end, won't we? So yeah. So again, thank you for listening, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. Hit the notification bell on YouTube if you are watching it on there. Or if you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, please hit follow. That'd be fantastic. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you're listening on there. Or anywhere else you're listening to a podcast. Leave a review. Reviews are good. That will help. People will be able to find this. And sharing really helps, guys. Like, if you've listened to this, share it. If you thought it was a load of old shit, share it. And say it was a load of old shit. If you thought it was the best thing you ever heard, share it. If you thought it was just okay, share it. It all helps me because people will come and check it out. Like I said, the next episode I'm going to do is going to go a bit wacky, and we're going to talk about the paranormal and stuff that I don't potentially believe in, but really, really, really fucking intrigues me because it's mad. So that'll be the next episode. Thank you for listening. I hope this hasn't been too much of a rambly mess. It probably has been a bit, but whatever. It's content, isn't it? We're all in this together. Anyway, see you on the next one.